what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you are all doing well today, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series, right here on Football Therapy, where I go across football news media, see what's being said about the Blues, consolidated in one package, giving you my opinion, but more importantly, asking for yours. Today I want to talk about defenders. Antonio Rudiger is likely to stay at Chelsea Football Club, looking like the third choice centre-half. But I do want to keep on the topic, and I want to talk about Frank Lampard's reported desire to still bring in a world-class centre-half, even if we do retain Thiago Silva for another season after the summer. Frank Lampard's genuinely very interested in bringing in an additional high-class superstar centre-half to, I guess, partner Kurt Zouma moving forwards. More of a long-term plan, and that's what this Chelsea team is all about, long-term planning. Strap yourselves in, subscribe if you want to, drop a like if you want to help me out, because it does help me out. Please do, drop a like. And let me take this opportunity to remind you there watching why you should use OneFootball. That's right, OneFootball is the one-stop companion app that gives you everything you would ever want or need regarding football, information on football matches, statistics, lineup results, fixtures, transfer news, everything, alerts, goal alerts, everything. If it's football you want OneFootball. You can check out the app, or you can click the link in the top of the description. In fact, I'd urge you to click that link to go check out OneFootball. Alright, that's enough of the housework out of the way. Let's get into the content. So let's start off with big Tony Rudiger. Look, man, you know, I know, we all know he was pretty darn poor last season. In fact, bordering on awful on a lot of occasions. Granted, the whole of our defence/goalkeeper had troubles last season, but Antonio Rudiger was serving up howlers, you know, nearly disaster classes on the regs. Does that mean he's an awful centre-half? No, he starts for Germany, and he was pretty decent when we signed him. He just went off the boil a lot. I don't know if anything happened behind the scenes between Antonio Rudiger and Frank Lampard, but you know, you can absolutely understand why he was dropped in terms of form, and we all know in the summer it was, you know, we all thought he was out the door. We had 5 centre-halves, he was the one likely to go. Chelsea wanted to sell Antonio Rudiger because he retained value in his prime, starts for Germany, you know, he's won the Europa League with Chelsea as a starter. Good player. Chelsea thought they could get some P's for him. I think perhaps Tottenham were very, very interested in him, but for one reason or another he didn't go. Maybe Frank Lampard blocks the move because, let's be real, we don't want to sell any players to Tottenham, even if it's an out-of-form player like Rudiger, because sod's law, he'd become amazing for José. Anyway, a little bit of time passes on, and now Rudiger's kind of coming back from the cold a little bit as the third choice centre-half to rotate in if perhaps Zuma's out or Thiago Silva needs to be rested, because old man Silva, even though he's superb and, you know, been world class for us, he's still 36 and he needs a rest. So Rudiger's come in and he's been pretty okay in the last couple of games. So anyway, speaking to a German publication, Antonio Rudiger came out and spoke on this matter, and this is what he had to say. I'm satisfied with how the situation has developed in the past weeks, Rudiger told the German outlet following Chelsea's 2-0 victory at St James's Park. Now I see myself as a permanent part of the team. I had a tough time, so I checked other transfer options, but I received positive signals from the coaching team. And there we have it, Antonio Rudiger has been brought back in from the cold, and now, you know, Chelsea can rely on him to be a good centre-half. What does that mean about Tomori and Christensen? I'm not so sure. Both highly rated in their own regard. I know a lot of Chelsea fans absolutely bloody love Fikayo Tomori. Really good, you know, promising young centre-half with superb pace, but for one reason or another, not getting a sniff. I mean, at the moment, Chelsea fans should be absolutely elated with the defence in terms of 2 goals let in the last, 8 games or 9 games, the joint top defensive record in the Champions League with Man City this season. They've both just conceded 1 goal in the whole campaign, which is ridiculous. Very impressive. So really we shouldn't be concerned about our defence, except perhaps moving forwards. Thiago Silva, yes, it's been brilliant, and it has been rumoured he is interested in already extending his contract with Chelsea to go through to the second year. Obviously he'll be 37. You know, a 37-year-old centre-half, great to bring in for the big games, but you'll probably need at that point to have his successor signed for Chelsea Football Club. and that sort of leads us on to our next story in today's video. It had been reported in The Athletic that Frank Lampard is still very interested in bringing in this world-class long-term option centre-half, I guess to partner Kurt Zouma to move forwards with this Chelsea team. Thiago Silva's excellent right now, but you know, how long is right now? This season, half of next season? If you can bring in a successor to work a little bit with Thiago Silva and sort of be eased in if he's coming from another league and perhaps he's a bit younger, probably, let's be honest, 10 years younger than Thiago Silva, because that's still 26 years old, which is like in your prime. It makes sense to bring him in the next transfer window. And provided Chelsea can make some sales, you know, Alonso, Bakayoko, whatever, Chelsea have got loads of players they could sell and make money on, like Michy Batshuayi. There's a bunch of them. They could generate funds, stay safely in financial fair play, and buy a world-class centre-half. Now, a lot of people are probably thinking, oh, Dayot Upamecano, because of his buyout clause, he'll be a great option. Yes, granted, but it has been rumoured, and of course there's been so many links that Frank Lampard is very interested in José Giménez of Atletico Madrid. Now, the Uruguayan centre-half is 25 years old, I believe, and he's a Diego Simeone trained centre-half. Just the ticket, just what you want, you know, South American, hard as nails, completely drilled, disciplined, superb, world-class centre-half. He's contracted into 2023, so he'll have 2 years left on his deal by the time the summer transfer window comes around. And, you know, although it's still 2 seasons, it's not just recently signed a 5-year deal extension. So perhaps there'll be a little bit of wiggle room on the price, but Transfermarkt has him at about £60 million, which could be achievable if Chelsea's team come next summer doesn't really need much tinkering with at all, which you can't imagine it will need that if you just want this one extra superstar centre-half. I think that will be very, very achievable. And Matt Law is often going on about how Frank Lampard really does want José Giménez, and perhaps he could be so influential on this defence, maybe as influential as Thiago Silva has been, but obviously he'll be, 10, 11 years younger, so much more mobile, can play more games, and let's be real, much better for long-term planning. Now, Atletico Madrid might need to generate some funds, so they might entertain a transfer to Chelsea Football Club. But what about the player himself? Would he want to come? Well, maybe. He did say he loves Frank Lampard, like he would have loved to play with Frank Lampard in an interview, which is interesting. Is that a bit of a come and get me play? Like, oh, the Chelsea manager, I really like him. I would have loved to have played with him. Possibly, but mind, if you look at Atletico Madrid right now, they are flying and they could probably win La Liga this season if things continue going how they are. And if that happens, even if he still wants to go to Chelsea, that would probably drive his price tag way up. So it's an interesting and difficult one, but I think from what I've heard, if Frank Lampard could probably choose a centre-half to buy next summer, even though, you know, all these people that I guess the sort of excitement of a FIFA mentality, you'd say Dayot Upamecano, but I think he really likes José Giménez, and if we could get him, that would be absolutely superb and exciting, and he could be the long-term successor for Thiago Silva. You know, what does that mean for the youngsters? I'm not so sure. Make your own minds up about that. In fact, I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts and opinions, so make sure you do express them down in the comments section below. I want to read what you guys think about the centre-back positions long-term in this Frank Lampard Chelsea side. So get down there, please do consider dropping a like if you've enjoyed the content, it helps me out a lot. Consider also subscribing if you are new to the experience here on Football Therapy. Other than that, mate, you're welcome to follow me on Instagram at FootballYannick. Come follow me on Twitch, Yan's Yard. I play video games in there and it's quite funny. You might dig it, consider checking it out. I'm out, man. Enjoy the football and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.